Yo, welcome back to another video as I'm just, dusting my mic. So this is going up on December 1st. It is currently December 1st anyway. I'm a bit late because yesterday I wasn't home. And then yesterday night, I didn't feel good. But I feel a lot better this morning because it's 10 in the morning. Anyway, I read there are two things in here that aren't, well, I guess technically three things that aren't manga, but I included them in here anyway. One of them is normally always in here whenever I read it. Anyway, let's get right into the video. First thing, I finished Vagabond, the Omnibus Volume 4. That was great. I can't wait until 5 is back in stock so I can continue the journey. And I remembered the boy's name. Jotaro is his name. It dawned on me after I finished recording and I didn't want to, put it in. But, a lot happened and it's fire. It's definitely, it's great. I have no words for it really because I've expressed how much I'm really into it in previous videos. I finished Goodnight Punpun. Holy crap. The ending I was not expecting. I didn't think certain characters would develop like this. And it blew my expectations out of the water. It's definitely a manga I'm going to reread. Now that I have all the volumes, I can reread it, straight up, like, all the volumes in a day or two, 3. Instead of, a couple volumes at a time, like, volume 1. Order the next ones, and have to wait a while, for a restock or something like that. I don't think I'll do a video on it. I don't know how I would explain how I felt about the series overall. It's a must read. I mean, I guess it's a hit or miss. Because, some people, aren't into it. Like, I've seen some creators talk about how they aren't into it, or it just wasn't for them. I haven't read Solonin, but that is also by Asano, just like, Goodnight Punpun is. And I do know that Solonin has an epilogue, like a tiny volume, epilogue after it, as it is a one-shot, I think. Is that what you'd call it? I think I would like one for Goodnight Punpun. Just because of... I feel like there are some things, like... The ending is like the beginning, like an opening scene. A lot just... It was a lot to read. And then seeing how certain stuff is played out, I don't know how to say this. Just give it a read and maybe you'll understand what I'm saying. Anyway, next up. This is one of the things I was talking about. It's a graphic novel. I finally read volume 2 of the, Scott Pilgrim not versus the world, it's just called Scott Pilgrim. Because, I'm thinking of the movie. I enjoyed this, give it a read if you're into some comedy. There's a lot of differences between this and the movie. I haven't played the video game, but I feel like the way it was adapted into the movie was really good, but I'd like to see it maybe adapted into a show. So we can have things that weren't in the movie in the show, yeah. Loved it. Next up, I read Invincible. I read all of it. It took me like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. Holy crap. It's like, if you're not into comics, like graphic novels, give it a read. You will like it no matter what. Don't take my word for it though, because I am a superhero nerd. I love superheroes. And Invincible is so great. This is just a random screenshot I got off, the internet. It's, on the right you can see the show Invincible, and on the left you can see the comics. A lot happened, and I'm so excited for it to be animated. Reading the comics and comparing the first season to that, they did change some things up. They made some things happen sooner than they did in the graphic novel, comic, whatever you want to call it. And it was just a masterpiece. I might have to read The Walking Dead. I'm honestly thinking about it, seeing, the creator Robert Kirkman, I believe. Seeing how he, did this story makes me want to read The Walking Dead. Or maybe he made another superhero, not really superhero, but superpowered story. I saw an ad for it. I might look into that. I read the description. It sounds interesting. A cool thing they did, though, with Invincible is they had all these other characters that had their own, like, comic book stories, like the Invincible universe, I guess, if you want to call it that. And you could read those to get more information about what happened to certain characters while, they weren't in the main story per se. And at the beginning, I immediately thought, oh wow, these are just like knockoffs of the Justice League or like Marvel. And then, like, as I started reading more and more, it was like, no, maybe those were, to get a feel for what they wanted the series to be. But it really turned into something on its own, like its own thing. It was so cool. The way it ended was very nice. Like, I'm very satisfied with the way it ended. They could definitely do a spin-off if they wanted to, but if they didn't want to, I would understand. It's fine the way it is. Next up. Oh wait, actually, give it a read. Read it now. Anyway, next up. Some manga. Some more manga. Yeah, I read the recent volume of Undead Unlucky, Volume 4. It's really, like, the plot is getting somewhere, like, some shit's about to happen. I don't know if I'm allowed to show this, because you can see he's clearly touching her boob under her shirt, but if you know, you know. It's using her ability. Yeah. It's another, battle shonen. I like it. It's not like Vagabond. It's like, I would kind of call this like, battle shonen, like dumb fun. Like, you don't really have to think about it. You just kind of read it for the enjoyment of the action. I guess that's the appeal in superhero movies, but I also watch those for the plot. I'm excited to see some things unfold. I mean, they probably already have on the app, but I'm excited for them to get printed so I can see them unfold. Next up. Blue Period. I finally got Volume 4, and Volume 5 just came out. So, I'll talk about what I want to get at the end of the video. But Volume 4, reading it really reminded me why I like Blue Period. There was a time, a brief moment, where I was like, I think I'm going to give this up. But reading the volume made me just realize, I think I want to continue reading this. And when all the episodes are out of the anime, like season 1, I think I'm going to watch that. Compare, contrast, like, see the differences. Seeing, some of these awesome, like, incredible, like, emotional moments animated, I feel like it's just going to be great. I've already heard so many good things about the anime. Give it a read. It's such a good story. I feel like it could have a genuine impact on someone's life. Not mine, but somebody else's maybe. If they're an aspiring artist in any sort of way, whether it be music or, actual art. That sounds mean, like drawing / painting or anything along those lines. I feel like it could give someone some real good tips and information. Next up, Asadora, Volume 4. I really, really, really like where it left off. It's like baiting you back in for more, like all good series do. A cliffhanger, if you will. It's going to be so good in Volume 5. And it makes me want to continue reading Monster and 20th Century Boys. Judging by, like how the story's gone so far. Yeah. If you like Urasawa, did I pronounce that right? Yes, I did. Naoki Urasawa. If you are a fan of his work, give it a read. I mean, you probably will anyway. So good. I'm enjoying it. Mysteries are being revealed. Like, we're discovering more, and this next volume, I think something big's about to happen. But if you don't know anything about Asadora, in Volume 1, we open in, I believe, either 2020 or 2021 in Tokyo, if I'm not mistaken, or Japan, rather. And it opens up there, and then it's like, let's go back in time to the very beginning. It's not really, but back in 1960s, maybe. I know right now the story is in the 1960s, but basically we're following Asadora here, the girl. Her name's Asa, but I don't remember why it's called Asadora. And I think we're following her journey with this mystery. I'm trying to be vague because I don't even know what the hell the thing is. But, it has the mystery elements that Monster and, 20th Century Boys do. I don't know how good. I don't know how great. I tried to mix up good and great, so I came out with good. I don't know how good the mystery is in those, but from the first 2 volumes, not the first 2 volumes, I mean, like, first 2 is in, like, I have Volume 1 of each, but I can already see where those stories are going, and I know I've said this before, but I kind of want to read more into it. But it's, they're not series I'm focusing on right now. As I did just, wrap up 2 series I was focusing on. So now I sort of have more room to focus on those series, Monster and 20th Century Boys. Anyway, next up. Finally, I read Berserk's little sister manga, Claymore. The first volume was really good. I don't know if I'll be reading more of this. if it's my cup of tea or not. I like Berserk more so far. I mean, there's a reason. But this is obviously scene. They're called scenes, not chapters. Silver-Eyed Slayer. The art is really good, and when I was looking for panels, I saw a lot, and it's kind of like roping me in. Who knows? It might. If you are a fan of Berserk and you have nothing else to read, I would suggest this series. They take place in almost the same time, I'd say. Anyway, what I mean by time is year. Next up, I read Volume 7 of Chainsaw Man. I decided I would not read ahead anymore, so I'm just reading as these volumes come out. I'm in love with this series. I just want more and more, like print them out more. And if I'm correct, Volume 8 comes out December 7th. Another manga has a release then as well. Anyway, read Chainsaw Man. Get ahead of the anime before it comes out. I finished Happiness. Yes, I love the series. I don't know if any of you watch the Anime Man, but he talked about this, and the way he was talking about the ending, he was like, by the end of it, you get a real like new meaning of happiness, not like for you, but like how these characters perceive happiness, and it kind of brings a whole new meaning to the title, happiness. So while I was watching that video, it kind of inspired me to get the rest of Happiness, and I did. And I don't regret it. It was a great manga. Shuzo Oshimi, that's the second work of his I have fully completed. I just need to get Inside Mari, but even that, I think the final volume of Inside Mari comes out next month. Sometime in 2022. And of course, I'm still getting Blood on the Tracks. I need to get Volume 7. And I think Volume 8 is coming out soon. Anyway, there was a curveball. I stopped at a good point, because, when I picked this back up, I just, I basically read almost I got like the first half of the series, and then I stopped, and then I got the rest all in that one chunk, and I basically read it all within 2 days. I'm in love with Shuzo Oshimi's work. Like, wow. It's just incredible. Very incredible. Especially the twist. There was a twist I was not expecting, like I was about to say. And shit hit the fan real quick. I don't know how else to word it. I'll just grab the volume so I could, look at notes. I say notes, but it's not really notes. Right. Yes, so, Shuzo Oshimi, yeah, in here, like, the afterword of the whole series, he mentions that he wants to make a clear conclusion on his next assignment, because he didn't think that, happiness came to a clear conclusion. Or that he came to a clear conclusion. And he wants to depict, almost something similar in another series. I don't know when this was, released initially. First published in Japan in 2019, so it's been 2 years, and his current series, I guess, is Blood on the Tracks. I'm getting ahead of myself ranting. Anyway, next up. Psalm 100. Bucket list of the undead. Bucket list of the dead. My bad. Volume 4. I enjoyed it. It was great. It was funny. I liked the new character they introduced. Hang on, I'm just putting Berserk on my bed. I was going to talk about that at the end, and I will. This is something that I don't remember her name. I'll remember the name when I read the next volume, of course. But it's something she said about love. Because, the characters were talking about love in a brief scene. It's a nice, fun series. In volume 3, it did have its serious bit. It will have its serious moments, of course. I enjoyed it. I'm enjoying it, and I can't wait for the next volume to come out. Next up, the third thing that isn't technically a manga. It's a manhwa. Yes. I really loved Soul Leveling Volume 3. It was great. So when I was looking at panels, or, something to put here, I stumbled upon a bunch of stuff that I'm excited to see. Just the way, the design of a character. I don't know how the hell he's gonna fight that thing, but then it's like, we have like 200 chapters or so to get through, to get printed until he fights the thing. Loved what was in this. I want the next one to come out. I don't know what the difference... I feel like... I would imagine the light novel would move a lot quicker than the comic manhwa. I do not know, though. I'm really liking this. I want this to be animated so badly. I don't know if they have any works, plans in the future for it to be animated or not. But if it gets animated, it's going to be so dope and so insane to see all the fighting and abilities in action. Anyway, next up. I read Dog Ninjin. I don't know how to feel about this. I bought the first 2 volumes. It's a wacky, wild adventure. It's really silly. There's a lot of action. It's printed in, you have to turn the book. I mean, it's a manga, yes. But I feel like it was printed in, a normal English fashion book, because the cover, the front of it, the cover, it has an actual cover on the front, on the, American front, English front. And then, you open the first page and it's you are reading this from the wrong side, homie. So it, has you flip around to the back, which is actually the front in manga standards, where the barcode is. I don't know. I enjoyed this. The art is so cool. The fighting was cool. Everything was cool. Well, if you're sensitive, I mean, there's a viewer discretion advised thing, about some of the things that are in this, like racism, discrimination, violence, sexual abuse, terrorism, or any kinds of malicious acts, as the stories and characters in it are entirely fictional. They will never be fictional, okay? I liked it. I don't know if I'll be reading any more, though. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Only time will tell. Next up. I read Mob 100, Volume 7. I'm very unsure. I saw this and I was like, I don't recognize this cover, so I wasn't sure if it came out recently or not. And I bought it. I might already own this. I don't know because I can't get into where my other manga, like my manga shelf, is being contained because there's something blocking it. But once I get in there and see, I will know. But I loved it, you know. It's like a little break for the characters to go on like actual missions, like actual jobs, and you know, the humor was there. It was very funny. I love this series. I love One. He's so cool. I love One Punch Man. That series is so cool. I recently saw a spoiled panel for me. I've seen both the web comic version of it and the like officially released version of it. It looks like shit is really hitting the fan, or is about to. Again, you know. I loved it, you know. I will always love Mob Psycho 100. I can't wait for season 3 to come out. And yeah, next up, Beastars Volume 15. Mwah. In the first panel of this volume, if you look very carefully, you will see that Beastars Volume 16 is coming January 2022. I saw that. I don't know if anybody else saw that while reading this. I thought that was pretty cool for, you know, Paru to put that in there. And I just recently, just reading Beastars, I just love it, you know. I'm so glad I picked up the volumes like the rest of the series when I did. You know, now I'm getting them as they come out, but very enjoyable. And I saw a trailer for Sing 2. It's like Beastars, except the animals are more, they're smaller. It's like, you know, give it a watch, Sing and Sing 2. I haven't watched Sing 2 yet, but Sing 1, very great. It's, you know, they sing in their animals, and it reminded me of Beastars when I saw it in the store the other day when I saw the trailer being played on some TVs. And I was like, I kind of want to watch the Beastars anime. I think I will once it's all out, or like once season 3 is animated. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know if it is getting animated. I assume it is. And then I thought about the Taxi anime. I started watching that. I need to watch more of it. Yeah. Read Beastars, you know. Read everything on... Well, read what I said to read. Don't read... I mean, read whatever you want, you know. Anyway, Finn, I'm done. I put an ending slide, yeah. Because I'm that guy. Anyway, releases for December that I would like to get. Vinland Saga. The Chainsaw Man volume. The Blue Period volume. I think JJK is getting a volume coming out this month, but I'm not sure. And whatever else that may or may not release that I find an interest in. Anyway, I think that's about it for the video. I don't really have anything else to say. But I am reading Berserk currently. Deluxe Edition Volume 9. The posters that came with it look really dope. The art, you know. And one of the posters showed something for the volume that I've seen so much, like, you know, manga panels for it before, and I'm so excited to see it in action. But anyway, that's about it. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving, and I'll probably wish you a Merry Christmas when the time comes. And I'll make sure the next video gets released on time. That's about it. See you.